All right. When Darren Hardy wrote the book, The Compound Effect, it was no accident that Tony Robbins wrote the foreword of that book. And it's because they know and trust the value that each provides. So there's an important networking that takes place at the higher level that we're offering as part of our Power Launch service. So the good news is there's no onboarding document. There's nothing for you to do. We just want you to enjoy this process. And I'm going to give you a little sneak peek behind the scenes at how it works. But ultimately, we're going to be posting on our social media on behalf of you. Now, one thing that was tricky to kind of teach my social media team about this was that this isn't about us. We don't want these posts to come across as us stealing the limelight. We want it to be 100% authentically about who you are and what you do well. So it's going to be a collaborative process between myself, my team members, and those who handle our social media as well, which are also part of our team, of course. But it's going to be all of us looking at your brand and saying, man, we've learned this about you, and this is value, and we want to be able to put that out there authentically for people to know about you, and we want to tag you in it too, so that the algorithms are affected, so that Facebook's algorithm and LinkedIn's algorithm and Facebook and so on, all those algorithms that exist, they're not limited to the platform. Google needs to know what's going on Facebook. Facebook wants to know what's going on LinkedIn. They would be really stupid to not pay attention to what's going on in all platforms, and of course all directories that are out there available to them to assess. So for instance, when we tag a brand on social media, on Facebook per se, Google notices that too, and it says, whoa, that brand was so important that another company is talking about it. And it's simplistic in nature. There's a science behind it, but that's why it's so easy to kind of influence that science, because bam, that just creates a ding that says, whoa, this is very unique, and something that most brands aren't willing to do. So that brand therefore must be quite valuable. And as our entity grows, of course, the power of that grows. So don't think too much about it, but I want to see how you create a ding as well, what you decide to use that for. Just because I know that Tony Robbins and Darren Hardy are friends doesn't make that forward any less valuable. In essence, it makes it more valuable, because it tells me that, even though Tony didn't write the book and he doesn't get credit for being the compound effect creator, he's inclusive. He makes room for other great leaders. He's not just trying to dominate this world himself. He's trying to provide value in many different ways, and he's inclusive in nature. So take a look at this. This is what you see here is not the permanent pattern. And the main reason why is because if this was the permanent pattern, it would mean that certain clients only got featured on certain channels at certain times. And we're going to be looking to optimize this, expand this, and of course, also grow the amount of times our brand is posting per day. So long as we've got the value to do it. So there's some themes mixed in here. You're welcome to take a look at our calendar if you'd want to get some ideas. The extras are just that. They're extras and ideas to remind us of what types of things to post about and what types of things to be aware of. But the calendar itself basically rotates the clients so that each client is posted about on different days, so that each client also gets featured 2 times per week. And in this case, client 1 is going to rotate through Facebook and LinkedIn in week 1 and week 2. You can just follow client 1 for now. It's going to go, but it's always on a different day. So Sunday of week 1 for client 1, and then Thursday of week 1. And then it'll be on Facebook on Monday, and then on LinkedIn on Friday. And that's going to create some sincere diversification of our content as well as mentions of you, so that it's not like a constant flow of content on you, which ultimately looks like a power plug of buy, and an ultra conversion campaign. That's not what we want. We want these to be branding initiatives that the algorithm picks up. And if you happen to get a few deals out of it, fantastic. If you happen to convert some of our audience to buy from you, that's a win-win, guys. I'm not worried about that. If they happen to say, you know what, I'd really want to work with her more than First Class Business, that's phenomenal. That's exactly what we're setting this up for, is to get you traction, and to allow another voice to promote you. Now, like I said before, I recommend that if we hit a post that you just love and you're excited about, share it yourself. Get that out there. That's something that's worthwhile sharing. Go live about it, and include that, as like, wow, look what I got endorsed by, and look how awesome, what they've talked about in terms of what they appreciate about my content, and what I do. So there's a lot of ways that you can utilize this. It's kind of hard to talk about in terms of hypotheticals, but I did want to show you a little bit behind the scenes. of how the content calendar works. And then our team uses Airtable to organize the actual content itself. I'll go to one of my older Airtables just so you can get an idea of what posts look like and the organization behind it. These are great systems for organizing, by the way. So let's just look at like March. So in March, they write my content, they create the image for it, and then I have the ability to come in here and edit this post. And once I go through and edit it the way that I want to, I can also edit the image very simply and easily. And then once I'm done, I go over here to click approved. And that gets approved. If it's a piece of content I don't want representing my brand, then I can actually click a different button now for redo, and then get it completely redone. So those are the behind the scene elements of what goes on with the third party social media management aspect. And just know that as we continue to grow this brand and bring new clients on and expand the value of what we're doing, we're going to expand how we're representing you on social media. There's plenty of other ideas that we can come up with to do that long term. I could see us doing more interviews with you. I could see us creating better content on your behalf, like actual blog articles or press releases that go along with that. There's so much we can do as we continue to grow together.